Good morning and welcome, friends. Let's start our class today with the prayer together. Heavenly Father, Divine Mother, friend, beloved God, great gurus, Jesus Christ, Babaji Krishna, Lady Mahashaya, Swami Shri Yukteswarji, beloved Master Paramhansa Yogananda Ji, saints of all religions, we bow at thy feet. Bless our class today with thy divine presence. Bless our hearts with thy love. We long to commune with thee and to become one with thee. Bless our efforts. Om Shanti Shanti. We have a beautiful song today, Monasteries, which some of you may have not heard, and then an excerpt from a talk by Swamiji, which you may have heard, on this topic of retreats. Welcome again, everyone.
Measured steps going, candlelight glowing, monks in rows sighing, flickering lights dying, echoes down the years dimly tell of their tears, gone their chants, gone prayers, leaving homes filled with cares. When men's hearts turn from light, what is left? Gone their chant, night gone. When thy truth they profane, what is left but pain?
You know, I was talking to the head of the Zoological Institute in Darjeeling many years ago, and he told me that he'd been on a scientific explanation in the Himalaya. It was above the snow line, and there they saw a yogi seated in lotus posture, meditating, and they came close and looked at him. His nails had grown into and through part of a twig of a tree. They estimated from the length of those nails that he must have been sitting without any movement for 6 months. That was just a rough estimate. But if he had moved at all, the nails are very brittle, he'd have just snapped them off. Now people may think, well, what's the use of sitting there like a zombie? What do you do in 6 months? The fact is you leave your body and you roam through the infinite. It's far more wonderful in that state than it is to come down to this state once you are able to go there. It's well worth the trouble. There is no one who has been able to reach that point and has said it's a waste of time. It is the fulfillment that everybody is looking for, but because we live through the senses, we think that this excitement and this desire needs to be fulfilled, and that desire needs to be fulfilled or pushed out of our lives or whatever it might be. But we relate so much to the world outside that it's very difficult. A car, when it's moving, you have to stop it and put it in reverse gear. And our car has been moving forward. We need to stop it and then put it in reverse gear. Now that stopping may seem like a dull state. There's nothing going on when you're stopping. But it's only then that you can go in reverse gear. The energy has been going outward. You've got to relax it. You've got to calm it. And then you can begin to go in reverse gear. Withdraw the energy from the senses. Withdraw it from the body. But once you are out of that need to move outward, there's plenty of movement going on in the infinite. But you become part of that infinite movement, and you don't need a physical body. So don't think that that yogi who sat there for 6 months was a zombie. He was simply enjoying a blissful state. And it's not so easy to come out of that state when you're in it because it is so pleasurable. You know, the thought of God is only difficult because you're thinking of other things, because habit brings you in another direction. But if you can understand that, well, if you can just practice it, I'm not dogmatizing you. I say, give it a try. Go to some quiet place for a while. I've told you first, yes, I'm bargaining with you, meditate even 5 minutes. 15 minutes is better, half an hour is better. 1 hour and a half is a good basic meditation program for every true, sincere meditator to do every day. But you know, at least once a year, if you could go away for a week and not think of anything, not have any other duty.
I'd like to start with the reading from The New Path from Swami Kriyanandaji on the chapter 29 Palms. My first visit to 29 Palms was for a weekend. We visited Master at his place. My first recollection of him on that occasion isn't so much of the things he said as of what he didn't say. I didn't know it at the time, but he placed great importance on silence. Disciples working around him were permitted to speak only when necessary. Silence, he said, is the altar of spirit. Master was seated out of doors by the garage. Bernard and I were standing nearby. Master asked Bernard to go into the house and fetch something. Suddenly, for the first time since my acceptance as a disciple, I found myself alone with my guru. It seemed an opportunity not to be missed, a chance to learn something, anything. Master evidently didn't see it in the same light. He made no move to speak. Finally, I decided I'd better break the ice. I had learned from Bernard how to commune inwardly with Om, the cosmic sound, which manifests itself to the yogi in deep meditation. Sir, I inquired, what does Om sound like? Master gave the prolonged He then reverted comfortably to silence. To me, at last, his silence was anything but comfortable. How does one hear it? I persisted, though I already knew the technique. This time, Master didn't even bother to answer, but simply assumed the prescribed position. After holding it briefly, he returned his hand silently. Some months later, I told him I was having trouble calming my breath in meditation. That, he replied, is because you used to talk a lot. The influence has carried over. Well, he added consolingly, you were happy in that. Silence is the altar of spirit. As I grew into my new way of life, I began to value this maxim. This topic of Ananda, the blessing of Ananda retreats, is a very important one because we all have very busy lives. We have our jobs, our families, our seva that we do. We travel maybe a lot. We have responsibilities. And otherwise, after that, we have social time with our friends. We have social media. We may go out and exercise. We may go for vacations. Our lives are busy, and they're busy on the side of not being busy with God, typically. So if you look at the balance of our lives, it's really overbalanced on the side of just doing a lot of things. How are we going to be able to feel the presence of God in the midst of all the things that we have to do all the time? And we constantly add more and more to them. So times when we take a break, calm down, be quiet, be in silence, be in peace, go away from the family if you can, or from your responsibilities or from your job. This is absolutely essential. And I think a lot of health crises and health difficulties come to people mentally, physically, emotionally, because they're completely drained out from all of energy, from all the things that we think we have to do, and we keep adding on, and we never take a break. And people wonder, how come I'm not feeling well? How come I can't remember anymore? Or how come I've got emotional crises? Or how come? Because people never take a break. They might think sleeping is a break, or people get sick so they can take a break. But that's not a true break. The true break is in deep meditation and an inner communion and upliftment and super consciousness and in the light and peace and joy and the vibration of God. So what happens when we take a break? And I'm going to go into it more in a moment, but physically the body can rest. The body can, the nerves and the brain, the whole nervous system, every part of our being gets to really calm down and gets rejuvenated, gets purified even, gets cleansed from all of the attacks that are happening all day long, from the noise, from the traffic, from the dogs barking, from all the people, from the negativity of the people around us, from the environment that we work in. If we don't take a break from that, it's just a constant siphoning, you could say, of our energies. And so physically, we get rejuvenated once we take, I'm talking about a spiritual break, not a Goa break. Secondly, mentally, when we can silence the activity that's always there from not just our work that we do, but think about the movies you watch, and what do you watch on social media, what do the music you listen to, and all this is just agitation. The nerves are just completely overwhelmed. And so we need to be able to calm the mind. So when you take a break from all of that static, you begin to feel the mind rejuvenated. Inspirations come. I can't tell you how many times after meditation, every day, I would say, an inspiration, insight, solutions, high thoughts come. But if you're agitated all the time, then they can't come out nearly or come up as easily. So more clarity comes, more focus comes. You come out of silence or retreat or time alone, and your mind is really clear. It's really sharp. And so your mind gets purified and bathed in prana and light and uplifted. And then, of course, spiritually, we feel contact. We're talking about a spiritual break, a spiritual retreat. We get back in attunement with our higher self, with God, with our soul's nature, with all the aspects of God that are within us. We start to feel those. They're not pushed down because of all of the other things that we're doing and thinking in the environment we're in that may not be so positive, and the hectic energy and the hectic schedule. So our spiritual self is just crying out for time to be able to flower, to be able to come out, to come up, to expand, to feel uplifted. And so physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally, my goodness, there's so many emotions people go through. This happened and she said that and he did this and my job at that and it goes on and on. It's just this grinding emotions on the heart. And the heart is the center of feeling. The energy can go upwards and you can use it to soar in God and soar in joy and soar in light. Or if it's just churning with anger and fear and whatever the things are, all kinds of emotions, they just suck your energy out. And you can see it in people. They look completely drained out. I saw the eyes of somebody recently that just looked, what happened to that person on the spiritual path? Just dead. No liveliness, no joy, no light, no peace. This is the life, the face of a yogi has power. The eyes have power and the energy has power and joy and upliftment and calmness and peace. And so as we begin to take these spiritual breaks, as Swamiji was saying, I love what he said, I'll bargain with you. 5 minutes to meditate, but that's nothing. We need the time to cultivate our spiritual life. If you're missing that, you're missing quite a lot. We've done these for over 50 years through Ananda. People, even when I was serving in the Kriya Sangha, people and everybody, Ananda in the US, every center, community sent their people in the beginning to Ananda village to take Kriya. And how did they take Kriya? You come for a whole week before, 5 days. And then you have the weekend was the Kriya weekend. Some people who couldn't come, but most people came the whole week. And the week was mainly in silence and deep meditation, long meditations. And then you get Kriya. And people couldn't come for the week. They came on the weekend. And then the other thing was after that, many people stayed for a seclusion right after taking Kriya. So 2 weeks of just going deep inside. So we had Kriya preparation weeks, Kriya bond retreats that are guided. We just had one, I'll go into that in a moment. We had guided seclusions, higher Kriya higher Kriya retreats, higher Kriya seclusions. We have a meditation retreat at Ananda village where people come just to meditate, no talking. And I remember this silent retreat we had here in India with the ladies. I won't do it again because they couldn't stop talking. Everybody just whispering. And I kept saying, it's silence, it's silence. Me and my friend Roma, Nayaswami Roma, we just said, there is no silence here. At a certain point, you just have to close down outwardly and take that energy inside. And I remember another woman in America, and we had the silent retreat, men and women, and I was strict on them, and nobody talked. For a whole week, 7 days, you're just like, got so much power from not talking. And she said, Dhyana, I just can't not talk for 7 days. I said, just try it and don't talk to me for sure. She kept trying to talk to people and people, shh. After day 1, she stopped talking and didn't talk the rest of the time. She loved it. You love it. Retreats are so natural for us. And we just had a Kriya Bond retreat in Bangalore. It was fantastic. Just 100 people plus who came together for a retreat. Not for anything social, but a retreat. And what happens in that retreat? And what do we do? Well, we have classes, and this is typical. It's not just that retreat. Spiritual Renewal Weekend is coming up, week of 4 days. Every year we're going to add a day. I would be there with Jyotish and Daviji. It's a retreat. And you can't just one day a week try to go in silence or whatever. Come when there's people, it will move you along. The classes, you get inspired, you get uplifted, you understand the techniques, you understand the teachings better. with all those people there. There's so much joy in the room. That's what I remember from the classes and the meditations together, long, 3 hours a day. In the morning and the evening, 3 hours combined, or even more. And when you meditate with 100 people in the temple, all Kriya Bandhs, all doing Kriya, your Kriya is gonna be better. That's all there is to it. And you can't get up and go get something, go get your phone, make a few phone calls, come back to your meditation, and oh, I don't want to do it. You sit there and you just go for it. And those were powerful meditations. And then the initiations, we had the first Kriya, second Kriya. At these gatherings of Ananda retreats, we do Kriya initiations. The deep blessings of the gurus, you always learn something new. There's so much power. Your Kriya, you get out of there and your Kriya is different. You've been blessed. You've understood the technique. You've worked with other people. The acharyas help you to understand and go deeper into Kriya. Then the kirtans and music. God, I was singing my heart out. It's so beautiful to be able to sing the name of God. Where do you go? You sing the name of God with 100 people plus, singing over at one chant after another, and then meditating and feeling the bliss, and then going back into it and meditating and feeling the bliss, and then the choir, singing along with the choir. Just, it's heavenly. The music is divine, let's face it. And then finally, having just time with other guru bhais. How many times you have with other guru bhais? The centers, yes, but that many people for days, 3-4 days at once, meals together, chatting together, sharing, meeting your other guru bhais, you're in the same vibration. And that was just so full of joy. Every retreat, and I've done many retreats on my own. Seclusions, as Swamiji is saying, year after year after year, nobody there but the deers and the bears. It's wonderful. Do that when you can. Do the group retreats when you can, but do something. You can't get there on your own with haphazard practices, haphazard meditation, short, sleepy, whatever. You get with the group, and there's a power like a big wave that's just pushing you towards God. It's pushing your karma out. You come away from those weekends, your karma is diminished, and you are a changed person. You owe it to yourself. Come when you can. Come all the time and just bathe in the vibrations of God and gurus and your guru bhais. Deepen, review, take initiations, and commune deeply with God. This is the reason we have these retreats. Please come, join us. Join us at SRW. Join us at the next Kriya Bandh. There's 2 Kriya Bandh retreats a year and other retreats. Come and you'll find that your spiritual life really, really takes off. You can't do that by yourself. You need the satsang with the other guru bhais, with the acharyas, with those who are helping you and guiding you. But you will find, if you make the time to be in those programs, your life, spiritual life, will really, really deepen, and you'll be much more uplifted, and you'll just take off. God bless you all. And I ask Nitendra now to join me with a few questions.
Thank you so much, Dhyanaji. We have a few questions. The first one, Dhyanaji, is what were retreats with Swamiji like? And did you get a chance to attend retreats with him?
Many. He gave retreats. We had Kriya Bandh retreats every year. And Swamiji gave all the classes for the first years. Then he brought Jyotishji in to give some of the classes. We had Kriya initiations, first Kriya, second Kriya, third Kriya, fourth Kriya, all on the same weekend. Fabulous times when I think that honestly, my spiritual life was built on those programs. where we took the time out and deepened the teachings, deepened the techniques, had the time together as a spiritual family, did the kirtan, we would have all kinds of deepening programs with Swamiji. And I would say, compared to me being on my own, that was 1,000% better. I mean, as far as deepening, as far as getting rid of karma, as far as getting more clear about the teachings and on the path, as far as the blessings to be with others who are like-minded, there's no comparison, is what I have to say about it. And so, yes, I had many with Swamiji, and that's why I'm so adamant about it. It's absolutely vital, vitally important. The other thing is you can have the retreat, and you do. I know I'm thinking about this. I think it's necessary here in India. Have retreat days at the centers, even if it's a half a day, in silence, long meditation. You can have a talk, a video of Swamiji. People can individually go off and read one of the books, some chapter or something, but not talking all the time. I just say there's too much talking and socializing. There needs to be more depth. And so I would have regularly a day of silence at the center. People will love it. They're afraid of it now, but once you get into it, you just go, wow, I had no idea there was something so wonderful. So that might be a good idea as well.
Thank you, Dhyanaji.
Mhm.
The next question, Dhyanaji, is that how long do the benefits of such a retreat last? And the reason I'm asking is that how frequently should we redo them?
Yeah, well, Swamiji said is on that same wonderful talk. Maybe you can give the link to that talk, but he said there, he took a 2-week seclusion. And the first time he did that, he was very tired and he slept for a good amount of the time. He was exhausted. And that lasted a short time, maybe a couple of weeks or a month. Then he said the next time he slept, and he told us, he said, when you're exhausted the first day, you typically need to just take a break and sleep it off. First day, maybe 2 days. And then he said after that he meditated, but he meditated many hours a day, 12 hours or something. But you can get up there. You can get up there to 6 at least. If you get up early enough, which most people don't want to, but if you get up early enough, that morning meditation just goes right by. 4 hours is easy in the morning, early. I don't want to say what time you have to get up, but anyway, you get the point. And then the evening, 2 hours is easy. He said when he did those long meditations that seclusion lasted him an entire year of spiritual energy and power and attunement and depth. A year. That's an incredible statement. I would say that our retreats definitely last you some time. I don't know how much time. It depends on how deep you go. But if you're meditating a lot during that time, it definitely is going to last you. And the thing is, it minimizes your karma. You look at all the disasters everywhere these days, everything that's happening. You have to have a shield around you to protect you that you're not in the wrong place at the wrong time. You understand what I'm saying? So the practice is the sadhana, that making your spirit, recharging your spiritual batteries and creating a strong energy of light around you is vitally important in these days. And it will be. I mean, we're in troubled times already. It's not going to get easier, Master said. I think we're entering those really troubled times. So you have to pull back. You can't just keep going. It just doesn't work. And I've done seclusions and retreats my whole spiritual life. And I would say it's been the most important thing of my life is those times when I was alone with God and gurus. and the whole week, no talking, just power packed.
One
Then
last question, Dhyanaji. So if I'm not able to attend these retreats, is there anything that I can do on my own as a substitute?
did we finish answering the last question? How often do you need to do the retreats? At least once a year, if not twice. And then this question of what else can you do? One day a week, you decide the day that you have, just take half of that day, if not the whole day, at least half of the day, and dedicate it to your spiritual path and your practices. Get up earlier that day, energize, maybe do more yoga postures, put on a talk of Swamiji, like, not hours and hours, but some excerpt. Read I did this when I was living in the Bay Area near San Francisco, because still have my job. And every Saturday I got up early and I went from whatever time that was till noon. And that was my time every week with God. I couldn't meditate that long, but I did what I could. I chanted, meditate, chant, meditate. I read from Raja Yoga, did more yoga. But that locked me in. Once I got that 6 hours or 8 hours, whatever it turned out to be, I was gone after that. And also, Master recommended once a week a long meditation. You can get to the center and meditate long. 2 hours is okay, 3 hours is better. I did that for years and years and years. I didn't even think I had the Om technique. I remember I looked at people, what are those boards for? But I would go in there with Hong Saw, and it wasn't easy, but I did it. Why do people want it easy all the time? Nothing's easy. Just go for it. And when you do that, I remember I made a breakthrough at a certain point, and I never went back after that. I said, wow, if this is going to give me this, I'm going to put my whole heart into it and my whole life. So it's worth it. It's worth you putting energy into it, and you'll find that, wow, things really change, not only inwardly, but outwardly. Your life changes, your habits change, your attitudes change, your environments change. Everything changes when you change from inside, but you have to be hungry for it. You have to want it. And most people start wanting it when a challenge comes, a health challenge. Somebody dies, somebody's in the hospital, my child is ill, whatever. Then people start turning to deeper meditation and God. Why wait? Do it. Protect yourself and your family now by doing it now. Then you won't have as much karma to come at you. That's the way to do it. And as you do that, you'll find that God and gurus are always there, but you have to help yourself. God helps those who help themselves. God bless you all. And thank you, Nitendra. Bye-bye, everybody.